Good morning. Welcome to Jackson County School District Number 9, located in Eagle Point, Oregon, gateway to the lakes. Eagle Point is home to 4 very unique communities that I'd like to share with you. The first community is Shady Cove, which houses the elementary and middle school serving grades K through 8. Shady Cove is predominantly our community which has a high number of poverty students. The next community I'd like to speak to you about is White City. White City is predominantly Hispanic, and it has Table Rock Elementary School, White Mountain Middle School, and Academia Agalitas, our new dual language praise school. Lake Creek is where we have our Lake Creek Learning Center, which is an old-fashioned schoolhouse. There's multi-age classrooms, and grades K through 5 attend there. The community of Eagle Point is the heart of all the communities, which houses Eagle Rock Elementary School, Hillside Elementary School, and Eagle Point Middle School. The schools of Eagle Point have a higher socioeconomic status and fewer numbers of Hispanic and poverty students, although those do still exist. All of these students' last stop is Eagle Point High School, which is located in the heart of downtown Eagle Point. I'd like to introduce the administration team, which we refer to as the A-Team. Those are myself, Jen Whitehead, the principal, Heather Marinucci, assistant principal, and Heather also runs the Eagle Center, which is our curriculum development area and assigns classes to students as well. Valerie Shehorn is our other assistant principal, and Valerie is in charge of our student management team, which we refer to as our SMT team. She also is the driving force behind the A to A initiative that I'll discuss further on. Matt York is our athletic director. He also is in charge of making sure our facilities are up to date and clean and tidy. We have 2 wonderful instructional coaches, Jen Mason and Tiffany Hayden. Both of them are full-time. They work with our teachers, mentoring them and coaching them to become the best they can be. As an A-Team, we believe it is our responsibility to influence the school culture, the student achievement, and each staff member. I'd like to introduce you to our superintendent, Cinda Rickert. Cinda is a visionary leader who operates by putting into practice the 4 characteristics of an improved school district. Everything we all do aligns to these 4 characteristics: effective leadership, quality teaching and learning, support for system-wide improvement, clear and collaborative relationships. What's very unique about our leadership team is that we meet each month at the district office and discuss current events. Our superintendent provides ongoing professional development for us and questions what we're doing and our next steps and where we can go to improve what's happening at our schools. All decisions made at Eagle Point High School align with those 4 characteristics. As I spoke to earlier, we have several different demographics throughout the 4 unique communities, but at this point I'd like to talk to you just about Eagle Point High School. Our prominent ethnicities are Hispanic and white, and of those ethnicities there are many special groups identified, such as our English language learners, which currently we only have 8 that are active ELLs, our special education, which we're proud to say that we have a PALS classroom, which meets the needs of our students that are significantly impacted. And we also have just resource rooms that support students that are on IEPs. And we have, as you can see, a high percentage of low-income students, just to name a few. But in all, we have 1,051 future graduates that we are proud of here at Eagle Point High School. Our current school mission at Eagle Point High School is that all students will be given the opportunity to be educated, accepted, and granted a chance to succeed. We will do whatever is necessary to help all our students meet their goals. With that in mind, I'd like to share a few celebrations with you. This past year, when our students first took the Standards-Based Assessment, or known as the SBAC, we had 75.1% proficient in English language arts. We are very proud of that achievement. In addition, we have our FFA. He went to nationals this year, and in the whole nation, they won 4th place. Last summer, we spent 9 staff members to be trained in AVID, and we have been awarded the AVID scholarship again for this year and are going to be sending many more staff members this summer to Denver for training. We currently have 5 CTE programs running successfully at Eagle Point High School. Another exciting initiative that we have done not only as a district but more specifically at our high school is a one-to-one iPad initiative. Currently, we have over 1,000 iPads at the high school in the hands of students. We also saw a need to develop relationships with our students, and because of this, we implemented an initiative called NEST, which stands for Nation of Eagles Establishing Strong Ties. What this means is that we have groups of students working with a teacher once a week on Thursdays, and that teacher is advising those students, guiding those students, building relationships with those students, and supporting those students through their education at Eagle Point High School. For the first time ever, we had student-led conferences, and with great results, we had 78% participation rate. We are also very proud of our secondary PLC work, which not only consists of the high school, but our middle schools that feed into our high school. These teams have been working on developing common formative assessments and summative assessments. Our Eagle Center has been working to build our relationships with colleges located around us, and currently we have 5 colleges that we are working directly with. Last year, over $600,000 were awarded to our students in college scholarships. This year, currently, we have 802 college credits that can be earned by our students participating in dual credit classrooms. We currently have 2 full-time instructional coaches, 2 full-time counselors, and 2 full-time academic advisors. For the past 13 years, we have placed first place in the Power Equipment Tech with our Skills USA program. I spoke earlier about the A to A initiative, which stands for Attention to Attendance. Because of this, we have increased attendance by 0.58%, and we have decreased chronic attendance problems by 4%. That is incredible, with this being only the 2nd year of its implementation. Last year, our wrestling team won the league title, and this year we currently have 4 students that have signed athletic scholarships. All that is good and fine, but as we know, there's still room for improvement, and we know that there are changes that need to take place. And as Einstein says, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And because of that, we have been conducting a lot of research and study about high schools and new initiatives to meet the needs of the current and future students. Because of this research, we see that high schools have been the same for the past 100 years. They were developed at that time to fulfill the needs of the time of the industrial age. As you can see from the Calvin and Hobbes cartoon, it was set up that people go through, they are told what it is they need to know, they do exactly what they're instructed to do, and then it's like, as you can see from the cartoon, it's a factory line format, not encouraging creative thinking and outside the square thinking. But we know we need to make some changes. So now I'd like to talk to you about some of our next steps. I've included some, but of course this is not limited to just those. We know that we need to revisit our mission statement. Our mission statement was developed several years ago and has not been revisited since then. So as a leadership team, we will be revisiting that. We need to work on a fixed mindset and a growth mindset for both our students and staff. Many students feel like because of their background and where they come from, that they aren't able to learn and grow. Unfortunately, some of our staff feel the same way about our students. And so what we need to do is do some educating and learning about how to develop the growth mindset. So we're going to be doing some intense work on that in the next year. We're also going to develop freshman teams. And the reason for this is that we see that our freshmen are a bit lost from the transition from the middle school to the high school, and they need more support. So we're going to have a team of teachers that work directly with those freshmen, and they plan together to meet the needs of those freshmen. We're also going to increase the number of pathways for our students to further support the 60-20-20 initiative from the state. We also have adopted the standards-based grading and reporting. We've adopted it, but we haven't perfected it. So we are working on improving that, and we will be providing more professional development not only for our students, but for our staff and our community. We are researching alternatives to the current daily schedules and also ways for students to retrieve credits. We want to work with our staff on becoming more student-centered, encouraging students to be creative and ask higher-order questions versus teacher-centered, which has been the practice of the past. We also want to investigate alternatives to English language arts interventions. Currently, we're using language exclamation mark. We are researching other programs that may be more effective for our learners that are performing below grade level. Math was an area of concern coming into the school year because we had only about 23% of our students proficient on the standards-based assessment last year. And so what we have done is we have a math consultant that comes in approximately once a month and works with the staff. And my belief and the A-team's belief is that high expectations but high support, and that teachers teaching to the 21st century need to know how to support these students in problem solving and critical thinking. Additionally, we are working on refining our PBIS, and Ms. Shehorn will have more information on that. We're also refining our NEST because it was our first year implementation, and we are looking at how we can use it to better support our students throughout the coming years. We're refining our 100% and 20% data team meetings. We realize that our staff need professional development and vocabulary development, and that all teachers need to realize that they are reading teachers and teachers of vocabulary. A big concern that came out in our first leadership team meeting was employee retention. And so we are working on ways to keep our current employees so that we don't have a big turnover and we can build sustainability. With that, we're going to continue to develop our distributed leadership, provide more professional development in the AVID realm, and a very important, a big concern of the staff and of students and parents are the facilities at the high school, which I'm excited to say that just yesterday, our cabinet and our board team, our school board, came to do a site visit to take a look specifically at our facilities and the next steps for improving them. A big push for me is developing community partnerships. We have many community members that would like to become involved in the school system, and so we're going to do a better job of reaching out to our community. As you can tell from this presentation at Eagle Point High School, we have decided to take a different approach to how we present to you today. We are very proud of this approach because we have embraced the use of technology. With that said, each of you will receive an iPad, and on the iPad you will see the icon that says Accredited. When you click on the Accredited button or icon, it will take you to a table of contents that lists all the documents with artifacts linked. All these links are live, and once you click on them, it will take you to all the information you need regarding that specific artifact. In closing, the future depends on what we do in the present, and I believe at Eagle Point High School, we are really working on what we do presently to impact the future. Thank you for your time.